Hello, I got around to making my first autumn garment this week and then the sun came out. And right at the end of the video, I'm going to do something completely unsewing related, and I'm going to do a taste test using some candy corn as I've been recommended to mix it with peanuts. Hello everybody, my name is Carole. Welcome to my sewing room. This is #Friday Sews, and I know we all know by now, but it is a regular Friday all the weekend vlog on what we've been sewing in our sewing rooms and buying and all sorts of things like that, and then a tiny bit about life at the end. And of course, who started it but the lovely Jen from Today in Jen's sewing room. Wow, nearly probably 4 years ago now, maybe, because I know I watched it for a couple of years before I even braved trying doing it myself. But yeah, thank you, Jen, and I really hope you don't forget to check out all the other #Friday Sews, which is my regular weekend viewing. I'm wearing today, dug out an old t-shirt actually. I just fancied being plain today. I don't know why, maybe because I've sewn a lot of bright stuff this week. This is, and you'll never believe it, but it is the Scout, you can see it's rather well used, this pattern, Scout Tee by Grainline Studio. I've made this a lot, and I started probably making it 8 years ago. I've made it in woven, but I do prefer it in a knit, and this actually was a really lightweight linen jersey knit, and it's just got a nice shape, and yeah, just fancied something plain, so my lovely daisy necklace could stand out. So that's the Scout Tee. It's meant to be for woven, but I do it in a knit, and it still comes out nice. So that's what I'm wearing today. So I did make my first autumnal make this week, and I've kind of learnt a little bit lesson of this actually. Simplicity 8529. I don't know how many times I've made this pattern, I have to say. It's a Sew House 7 pattern, and it's very similar to the toaster sweater, which is by Sew House 7. I think it must have been something they designed for them. Now I decided to make the split hem version, just with the round neck, not that neck there. I've made this many times before, and I have to say I've made it in exactly the same fabric as before, but just a different colourway. So I thought I'd just barged ahead and did it, no problem at all. I love this fabric. And I have to say, Rachael from the French Seams, what have you done to me? Because look what I did with the binding. She recently put out, she always binds her necklines. Her perfection when she sews a garment is incredible, but she always binds it, and she did a video not very long ago, a couple of weeks ago now, about how to do it. It was kind of the way I did it, but as I said to her at the time, please nag me if I don't do it, because your finished garments look so much more elevated just because of that simple thing there. So Rachael, I did it. I bound the neckline. It just makes it look so much better, doesn't it, than seeing the raw edge with the overlocked seam. So I made this up. This version here, I got this fabric from Echo Bee in Ireland, 18 months ago. It's got the self-knitted cuffs and the split hem. Now, I've always ever made up the extra small because it is very oversized, but I think I'm gonna have to grow up and move up to the next size, because when I tried this on with a pair of trousers, it kind of stuck out a bit. So it's obviously too tight around the tummy, only slightly, but I do think maybe I ought to size up next time round, and that's fine because I've got another version of that pattern. Now the split is very much, you know, like that. I'm gonna have to put a photo in because I can't describe this, but the split is kind of open like that. What I've done this time, and I've done it on other stuff before, is widen the actual pattern piece and make it so one kind of tucks over the other. So a bit like a kick pleat really in a skirt or something. So it's not sort of those two like that. It's kind of folded over, and I think it looks slightly better, but anyway, we shall see what you think. But love this. I've had this fabric, as I said, and I just wanted to get it in my wardrobe, and it was getting colder when I decided to make this, and then we've had a really warm week, so that's how it goes. This week I've also been making some gifts for someone, and I'm hoping that someone isn't going to watch this video. So it's my mum's birthday next week. It was my father's birthday on Sunday, and it's my mum's birthday next week. And when you get to a certain age, you don't really need anything else, do you? So it's really hard to buy presents for someone of an older age when you've just got too much stuff. So I thought I'll make some oven gloves. Everybody needs oven gloves. Now, I don't use a pattern. This is my pattern. It is just where I have drawn around existing pair of my oven gloves. That's it. That's all I use. I'm really pleased with them. And I know every time I make something for somebody, I say, oh, I'm really jealous. So that's it. I'm going to make a pair for myself now, because my oven gloves are disgusting. No matter how many times you wash them, no, they're just awful. So here they are, and I'm very, very pleased with them. So that's the outside with this lovely green fabric. I made it out of fat quarters, so I did have to put a centre seam in, but you can't see that because the best fabric I had was actually fat quarter fabric. So I've done a contrasting inside, third one which kind of matched that colour more or less, butterflies. So these are the type of oven gloves she uses and I use, so really pleased. Now, can you hear that? That's the insole bright, and I know I've made oven gloves before, and that's you get a kind of rustling with the insole bright. So in these I've put a layer of the fabric, a layer of cotton batting, a layer of the insole bright, and then the layer of the fabric. So they're quite sturdy, and you've got the insole bright, which is the heat resistant stuff, and then a layer of batting as well. So they're really good sturdy oven gloves. And obviously that bit there, you've got what, 6 layers going on, 7, 8 layers going on. So I'm really, really pleased with these. As I said, very jealous, but I'm going to make myself some. Hang on. I'm going to make myself some out of the lovely Winnie the Pooh fabric that Diann gave me from Silver Thread Sewing when I went to America a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to make myself a pair using that. But I've got to wait for because I've run out of insole bright now, so I've got to wait for that to be delivered before I can do that. So yeah, really happy with that. Had some bits of fabric left over, so I just put together a little pot holder. Just did the 4 squares, quilted them together, look at me, quilting, and found a scrap bit on the back, and then I just rounded them off using a round template, quilting template. So I just rounded the corners off. Don't know why I did that, I just thought it would look a bit better. And obviously bound them, and there we go. So that is a present for my mum, and I'm really pleased about that. I also made a card. Now, it was my dad's birthday on Sunday, and the party went ahead. He was 90. It was fantastic. I will now show the bunting that I made for him for his birthday. I made meters and meters of this bunting because the room we were hiring for the meal was quite a long room. So I made 2 sets of bunting, one kind of plain one to go in the window, and then one with Happy 90th across it. I did the bunting as I do normally, quite an easy way. I did say I would do a video on that, and I will if anyone's interested. And then I did the applique Happy on my Brother embroidery machine. I love doing applique, but it is quite a long-winded procedure. Yeah, I won't go into that now because a lot of you don't have embroidery machines, but I did the Happy and the 90th, and that all took so long I decided to forget the birthday bit. Just do Happy 90th. Yeah, I know I cheated a bit, but it just took forever. So did all that. I also made him a card using the embroidery machine. I'll put a picture of that as well. And yeah, I've had fun doing applique on my embroidery machine recently, so that was good. So what else have I been up to? Well, these two ladies behind me, I put my final results of my fabric wheel video up this week, and these were the two blouses that were featured in that. I'll put a link to it there. But yeah, those were the final two. I'm going to do a quick rundown of all the fabric wheel makes from this series, and I'll put that out next week. Because I will admit, I mean, I started it in spring, and the idea was they were meant to be short-sleeved summer tops, but then we didn't have a summer, so I changed it, didn't I, halfway through to longer sleeve tops. So I can't remember what I'd sewn. So I've got those together, and I will show you next week. So it's that time of year when I've got lots of autumn plans in my head. I kind of looked at my clothing from last autumn, and to be honest, I've had it a few years now, and last year I got quite excited to see the stuff, and then I thought, oh, again? So I have got a few autumn plans, things that I would like to make. I'll show you a couple of them. This lovely bamboo jersey, no, not bamboo jersey, cotton jersey I got from Minerva. I want to make a Fran top from, and that's a Style Arc Fran top. I'll have to put a picture in. It's a top that when I first made it, I really didn't like it, but now I kind of do, and I think with such a plain top, I could do a lot of top stitching on the seams. So I think that could work with that, because that's what I'm looking for now, is long sleeve tops. I also can't wait to make my favourite pattern, which is Butterick 6859. This top here, which has the gathered sleeve heads. I've made it lots. And a few weeks ago, maybe a good couple of months ago, I bought this lovely green, moss green knit jersey fabric. So it's like a knitted fabric. It's absolutely super soft. I don't know if it's going to work in this, but it has got the drape, so I'm hoping. I've made a cardigan out of this before, but I have so many cardigans, I really don't need another, and lightweight jumpers is kind of what I need going into autumn. So I'm going to try and make the jumper there from that. Then I visited my mum and dad this week, and there is it's the other side of Dorset, and there's a good sewing shop there called Hanson's. And on my way past, I thought I must drop in, and I picked up some fabric. This. Now, I know I'm making something very similar at the moment. I'm actually making it in a collab with Agatha, so I haven't forgot about what I said I was going to make. But yeah, that's coming out soon. But I've had this pattern for forever. It's New Look 6545. I bought this pattern after I saw it on the Great British Sewing Bee a good 2-3 years ago now, and I've been desperate to make it up. And when I saw this, I thought it could make a little lightweight jacket, which would be perfect for this fabric. Now, I didn't have this pattern with me, so I bought this. It is double-sided, as I said. It's thin, but not too thin. And when I asked them there if they had any ribbing to do at the bottom, because you do need sort of ribbing on the bottom around the sleeves, and they didn't have any. So when I came home, I went through my stash to see if I had anything I could use, and I came across this. It's a piece I've never used from Minerva, grey. I thought, I don't know, will those two colours go together? It'd be very difficult for anything to go with this, to be honest, without it being a stark contrast. But I thought, I think I'd get away with that. Then I looked on the cover. Look, pink and grey. And I swear I did not see that before. So yeah, if they can do it. I'm going to have to order a opening zip for that. And annoyingly, I've just ordered one for another project, so I'm going to have to order another one. But yeah, that's sort of in the pipeline. That's going to be a long time coming, I think, that one. But at least I've got some fabric for it now. I also picked up the most autumnal piece of fabric you'll ever see. It's a viscose jersey, and I've got it in mind for another collab coming up in autumn. Look at this. Not only is it autumn colours, but it is fireworks. And in the UK, probably Ireland as well, we have Bonfire Night on November the 5th. firework night. So got autumn colours and fireworks, absolutely perfect. So beautiful piece of viscose jersey, so I can't wait to use that. What I didn't realise Hanson's had was this lace. Now this is the lace I use on the top of underwear. Is it 5 centimetres? Beautiful soft lace. And I used to get it from Beyond the Pink Door, but you can't buy it on its own now. So I've been struggling to find it. And I walked into Hanson's and they had rows and rows of all different colours. So I just bought meters and meters of it. So I'm planning to do a lot of underwear replacement soon. So I might do that this weekend, actually make a few pairs. But I was just so excited to see it and in all different colours and buy some that I can tell the quality of it, because some you get are scratchy and this is super soft. So I was very happy with my shopping the other day. Now I'm hoping this video isn't going to be a long one, but I must just tell you something that I've just started doing. Very often I'm sewing in my sewing room and it gets late and I think, that's enough, I'm going downstairs now. And I just walk out. I've stopped myself doing that now because very often I will leave the room in a mess and then I come back in the next day and kind of have to push stuff out the way to start again. So I've adopted what I use in my house cleaning procedure. So quite often, if I just want to do a general tidy of the whole house, rather than getting too overwhelmed and stuck in one room and not have enough time, I set the timer on my phone for, very often it's 3 minutes actually, 3 minutes, and in that 3 minutes I have to stay in that room and tidy and move things about. And then I will move on to the next room for 3 minutes. And it's actually amazing the difference that you will make just in those couple of minutes, rather than getting too involved and stuck in. So I thought, why don't I do that in the sewing room? So that's what I've been doing. Just at that moment where I'm saying, right, that's it, I've had enough now. I set my timer for 3 minutes and I've been tidying and I've been picking stuff off the floor and just doing a general sweep and put things away. And it has made a massive difference because, like I said, next day when I come into the sewing room, it doesn't look anywhere near as bad. Just an idea if anyone's like me and basically lives in a mess. So life, as I said, my father was well enough for the party. In fact, probably a lot of it was to do that he's been quite worried about being 90, wouldn't we all be? So the party went ahead. I got a cake made for him from a very, very talented lady, and it's awesome. So I'm going to put a picture of the cake up, and I wish I had that talent. All I had to do was kind of tell her the sort of things he was into and kind of what I wanted, and she made it up and it was brilliant and he loved it. So that was great. This weekend we are going away down to the holiday home. We haven't been there for a month, so I know we're going to have to do a little bit of gardening and things like that. So can't wait to escape down there. Obviously I'm probably going to take some of my sewing with me because I've got lots of plans in my head at the moment. So I'm going to do that. The photos I will put at the end. I'm so glad you liked the photos from last week, my film version, or the film places we met, and the Walton's Museum and the Dirty Dancing. It was great that you enjoyed that as much as we did. But I'm now going to put the scenery photos from last week. I'm now going to do something very strange and very unsewing vlog related. So do you remember back to last week when I talked about that the lovely Diann had given me some candy corn? I absolutely love this stuff. And a lot of you told me that you have it with peanuts in. So I have some peanuts and I haven't tried this, and I'm going to try it live on camera for you. I'm going to mix them together like you said I have to, and let's see how we get on. So these are M&S peanuts. What else? If you live in the UK, you know that they're not just peanuts, they're M&S peanuts. So here we go. I'm going to mix them in. Right, okay. Because everybody says it's the salt, I'm really scared of doing this, the salt and sugar together. Now, what I don't know is if I've got to pick two pieces up together. Should we try that? So I'm going to try it live on camera for you. I'm going to choose a couple of nuts and that together. Here we go. Now, I know I shouldn't talk with my mouth full. It's weird. It's made the sweet things even sweeter. Sweeter, that's not a word. Even more sweet. And you kind of forget the taste of the peanuts. This is really strange. I mean, a lot of people talk about crisps and chocolate. I know my husband loves crisps and chocolate. But, strange. Very strange. That's weird. It's not unpleasant, but it's making them taste even more sweet and the peanuts even more crazy. Bit of fun, and I always try to put a tiny element of fun into my videos if I can. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you've never watched me before, you must think I'm crazy. But I have to say, I just enjoy sewing, and I kind of enjoy life, and I like the lighter side of life quite a lot of the time. So thank you again. I hope you have a marvellous weekend. Lots of sewing. I'm going to try and do as much sewing as I can. I've got so many things going around in my head right now, as I'm sure we're all the same. I will see you soon. Goodbye for now, and thanks for watching.